Hello, this is teddygaming and welcome back to another review on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles tmnt the Armageddon game issue number 7. And oh boy, was this issue definitely something. I feel as though that this whole issue was okay for the most part, and it had some really interesting action scenes in this issue. But I would have to say that for overall this issue was okay, but everything in this issue just felt anticlimactic and didn't really have any high stakes towards it, and most of the stuff in this one was just like, okay, let's move on to the next bit. You know, it was like okay, there was like good bits in it, but yeah, god, they definitely need to improve on the whole story a lot more going forward. But luckily this is one of the final issues for this story, so hopefully the next one will be a whole lot better, hopefully. Okay, so let's talk about the story itself now. So I'm going to start off with talking about the Raph, Leo, Hob versus Noel and her team. Now overall I thought that this bit here was pretty cool, I'd say. I did feel as though that all the things that needed to be here to make this fight really good were there. I'll say that Hob's attachment with Noel and what she's done, the wall, stuff like that, and everything with Shibre and Noel and just Noel in general. There was so much stuff they set out to be really good here. And then we actually got to the fight itself, and I'll say that it was actually really good and really enjoyable. I really didn't like how all these characters were interacting, and like how somewhat it got a bit violent with the tail getting cut off from Zodi. Really great, that bit. But then of course with all the other fights, this one was ended really stupidly, with Krista ending things because she wants to basically do her own thing now. And you know, it's good that Krista is finally doing something for her story, and it's really great that she's able to stand up to Noel and stuff like that. But at the same time, you know, the story itself wasn't really there to tell that kind of story. You know, with Noel, she hasn't really had that much development throughout the entire universe for this universe of TMNT. So having her, you know, ending be here just because someone wanted to stand up and be better about themselves was okay. It just didn't really suit the ending which I feel as though that Noel deserved. But at the same time, because Noel doesn't really have too much, you know, development in this universe, I can't actually say that, you know, I would have preferred something much better, because I don't really know what I would have preferred, because, you know, we haven't really had much of interaction with her character. So I feel as though that whatever they did with Noel's character, it just would have been bad no matter what it was. But I do feel as though this way was just, you know, really stupid in like a movie kind of way. It was stupid in the way of the, you know, the term of, it wasn't about the journey, it was about the friends we made along the way. It felt like that kind of story was being told here, with Noel and Chrissy and stuff like that. So, you know, I feel as though that it was like that. But I do think that when you get to stuff with Hob and Noel, there was elements there that they definitely could have fleshed out to really make this a really interesting battle, really interesting fight. But it just felt kind of empty with just how things played out. But you know, what it did get was okay. I just feel as though that there was a lot of elements missing to make this a really great fight. Okay, so moving on to the next bit, we do get to see the return of Krang. And yay, he's back again. After dying, and then coming back, and then dying, and then coming back, and then dying, and then coming back. I'm pretty sure he's dead now. Yep, I'm really sure he is. I'll be glad to see him with another 30 issues or so. I do think that with Krang dying and coming back and dying all over again, I do feel as though that it somewhat became a bit of a joke, and didn't really feel like he had any stakes really. So when he came back in this issue, it wasn't really, oh my god, I can't believe he's back, because it's all teased it a few issues back. And you know, in this issue with his return, it feels as though it's just oh, he's back again, yay. So, you know, I feel as though that elements of this could have been cool if we didn't see him actually being alive a few issues ago. But, you know, it is what it is, and I do like the fact that Krang was actually going through with his plan in this issue and wanted to transform Earth into the Neutronium. But at the same time, I feel as though that with the way that his story has been so far, with him dying and coming back multiple times, it didn't really have any sort of impact. It's just oh, he's there. And then even when we do get to the actual fight itself, just because, you know, it wasn't really too much of a story on Bring It On anyway, we do get to see Nonny, Metalhead, Mikey, and the Nova Posse all fighting Krang and stuff like that. you know, pretty interesting battle, but at the same time, with this battle, it just didn't really feel like, you know, it felt very anticlimactic, and it felt more just something like just shoved on at the end, just to flesh things out, make things even bigger and better than what it is. It didn't really have any stakes really, just because we already knew that the characters were going to win and beat these characters, as like Metalhead and Krang weren't really the main villains and never really were, and they just felt more like just, you know, come back for the shock value, and I guess it did its job, but at the same time, you know, there was elements in here that it definitely could have improved upon to make it better. And I think that just comes down to the fact that Krang has died so many times, and you know, has come back as well. So I think that's like the main problem which I had with it, was the fact that he just kept coming back and dying, but hopefully he's dead now. And as something which I would like to also mention as well is the fact that King Xantar, I think Xantar, you know, something like that, he came in and shoot Krang, which was, you know, I feel so was okay, but I feel so that with the King, he's like an okay character, but not really a character which we've really got to spend much time with, or even like, have a, like, you know, real good connection with him. So him and Krang was okay, but, you know, I feel so that it was like really empty, and I don't really know what else I can really say about it. It just feels though that, you know, maybe someone else should have done it. Maybe Fugitoid with his connection with Krang, and with our connection with Fugitoid. You know, I just feel so that like there was something missing with Krang's death, and yeah. But that does also lead us on to the next death, which was Metalhead, and well, yep, he came back and he died as quickly as he came, and yeah, don't really have anything else to really say. It was there, I want to say. I can't really say that either. It just felt so there. That's all I can really say about it. It's not bad, it just felt so there. So then for the final page, we do get to see Shredder is now in the film place with Skrull and is talking to Kitsune, and Kitsune basically tells Shredder that you need to bring back the children's of Splinter, and that's where we go into the next issue, and yeah. So I think that with this scene here, there's not really too much I can really say just because it's just one page, but I do think that overall this scene, I do like the setup for the next issue, but knowing what I do know about the next issue, I can't exactly say that I'm overly thrilled to go into the next issue because how they rush things, but I do think that with the way that they set things up was okay, and it's glad to see that Kitsune is finally getting some attention. But one thing which I do want to mention and go off of that was the fact that the Phantoms were mentioned in the description for this issue and saying how they've like supposed to be playing a big part in this issue, but yet we don't actually see them. So, you know, I'm still very confused about what role they're going to be playing in this whole event, so who really knows, but it feels though that they definitely should have played a big part in this event way sooner than what they already have, so yeah. Now I must admit overall this issue was pretty okay, I want to say. I do think that with the climax with Krang, as well as Metalhead and Null, they were okay, but it feels though that they definitely could have improved upon it so much more. And just, I don't know, I feel though that like so many elements that go into like their deaths that really made it like so, I don't want to say bad because I don't think it's bad, but like there's ways that like, they definitely could have improved upon it. And that's all I can really say about this whole issue, is that it was okay. It feels though that there's like so much they could have done so much differently and probably would have been better, but yeah, I don't know. I feel so that I'm like emotionally checked out of this universe now, right now. But yeah. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below what you think about this issue, because overall I think that people are finding this whole series to be really boring now, so I'm quite surprised by that. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today guys. If you do something, please share, like, subscribe and all that stuff. Goodbye, yo, bye.